Hey guys, it's Merrick. I've got another gameplay commentary for you here today. This one I'm yet again playing Planetside 2. This time I'm on NC playing Medic with the GR-22. The GR-22 is an 800 RPM 143 model weapon, which means it's right about on par with the TAR or the HV-45, meaning that it's absolutely savage in CQC. Just like those two as well, it's got a strong upright recoil, which means after the initial upwards burst, you want to be going down left. This is a relatively short session compared to some of them, because even though we wind up getting a whole lot of really good fights in the beginning, as we went on in the session, which extended to a few hours, there was just a lot of really long downtime and fights that were just really short and not worth putting in the video, so I just cut it off in the early stages. After a brief warm-up, I didn't see a whole lot of things happening on the map, but there was an offensive router placed at Quartz Ridge, so I decided that was the place to go. But once I get here, I see that the router is placed at an absolutely terrible spot. I jump down and head towards point, and I catch somebody trying to slowly trickle in. I don't see anybody on point, so I figure I'll give it a minute or two because there's not a whole lot else to do, and I keep rotating around. I see a few people along the outskirts on the minimap, and I go pick him up. As I see another one that I try to pick off from across the roof here, I actually get tagged by an infiltrator. I consider taking the fight, but I know that there's just a chance I completely won't see him and I'll just die for free, so I rotate back into point. Someone does eventually come down those stairs and I trade him out, but after another small lull, I see a few dead people on the second floor, and as I'm going up to see what that's about, somebody appears on the minimap and I see my next kill. I was tempted, after I take this guy out from just a surprise flank, to go res those guys that he took out, but I know that Infiltrator's probably in the exact same spot I left him because Infiltrator gameplay is really dynamic, and so I just don't do it. I continue to rotate around, picking up people that show up on the minimap while I wait for something to happen, and then suddenly the pressure on B point goes from 0 to 13. I begin to rotate up there. I even check the spot where I left my infil friend because I don't actually think he's gone. Because I don't think he's gone, I do a jumping res to minimize the chance of me getting immediately one-tapped, and then I try to come into this fight. There's not a whole lot of great options here. There's no cover, and ideally I would have held the doorway and fought from there, but I'm afraid of that infiltrator on that second floor up above, so if I held the doorway, I would have just died to him. I throw a resonate for the shield and to get some of these people up, and I start to pick some of the enemies off, but I get flashed. I really wish I had the NC Araxium weapon, but this is the whole thing I begin to work on. I have it for both VS and TR, and I really did try, honestly, to cleanse myself. I realized I couldn't, and I got very sad. I continue to pressure here, and it works out until I eat a C4 to the face. I took a moment to talk to chat about a few different medic loadouts and different options you could run, and by the time I was allowed to respawn, I had to pick the outside spawn, and we were getting our shit pushed in. This fight really did go from 0 to 13. This was a momentarily alright fight. What the fuck's my fucking... Where's my fucking P4? Ah! Okay, well, this is awkward. While I was talking to Chad about different medic loadouts, I had taken my C4 off by accident to show something else, and even though I thought I put it back on, I just clicked it twice and sent it away. So that Max gets to live. C4 had been really nice in this corner because this is a very close corner. I'm right up to the corner so I can get a C4 optimally through it. It would be at a decent distance to get the most amount of people, and really kind of fucked me up here. I get flustered, and I completely overextend without even having full health, which is kind of ironic considering I'm the medic. But when I get back, we've been pushed into this hallway. I throw a resonate to make sure I get the shield from Combat Surgeon, and then I start to take the peek. That's a lot of my plan when I play an aggressive combat medic, especially in a public setting. Basically, I'm going to use my resonades as I get a 2.5 second shield button rather than a res. Obviously, I have to actually res somebody to do this, but it rewards me with a shield and heal energy, so it works out for both of us. I honestly think more things should be designed with this mutually beneficial thing in mind, but basically I'm trying to balance making sure I have an AoE heal running, some kind of a shield from my res, and then take aggressive peeks. This fight could have been pretty decent, but it went from 0 to 100 really fast, and now there's vehicles involved. Fight died before it really even became fun, so I just rotate off to Regent Rock Garrison. As soon as I get there, I run to point C because it's being pressured, and I pre-aim the door where somebody would generally peek. Someone does peek into it, I get a quick takeout, and then I rotate around to head into the back door to try to get a flank. They expect me at the front door. There's not a whole lot of pressure, so I think I'll get around the back real easy, but it seems like there's a lot more people out there than I thought, so I reconsider my decision and head back to the front door. As I peek in, doesn't look like there's a whole lot of people, and I think that maybe I can get in there before they get up the stairs. I am mistaken, and I managed to get one person traded out for me, but honestly, I probably should have expected that. As I run back, I get intercepted by a flash, but it does allow me to see some dude on the rock and take him out, and as I'm rotating around, I see another guy over the rock on the minimap, and I'm able to get him on a flank before I start to push the main door yet again. As I get to the main door, I'm able to pick up a medic trying to come out and res somebody, and then I'm able to pressure a few more of them on the staircase trying to peek, but when I have to reload because I forgot I wasn't a heavy, I instead pick up this dude next to me for the energy, and then I give myself a reload, hoping that guy will buy me enough time to actually do it. There's enough pressure out here that I didn't need to rely on just that one guy, and we slowly start to make our push in all together. Were I a heavy, I would just swing those staircases myself and start pushing up right away, but I am both squishy and have a limited amount of bullets, so I hang back slightly. I don't have heal energy to help support me during a fight, but I feel like I can apply more pressure than some medics, so I want to be close enough to make sure that I can do that at the same time. Once the resonate goes off, it'll max out my heal energy, pick up a bunch of allies, and allow me that 2.5 second shield, so that's kind of the optimal time to begin assisting in a fight, so long as I can rotate out and don't overextend, because again, I only have 30 bullets. I duck into the corner because I'm concussed, and I shouldn't be peeking vehicles as a medic because I don't even have a rocket. But once the concuss wears off, I start to push up and pressure the doorway yet again. We lose a handful of people, and I start to pick them up manually, but I realize that basically the whole front door is dead, so I throw a resonade and rotate down the stairs. They manage to get up, and as soon as I rotate back up the stairs, I eat a flash and have to rotate back down. I try to push back up the stairs. I'm out of resonades, so I cannot nade ahead to get them up, but I try to get what space I can. I stutter my sprint, and it winds up keeping my gun down at the wrong time as a heavy peeks me. When I run back, this time, we're having to push into a different point, so I wait for somebody to go in first, and then I immediately swing in, completely forgetting yet again that I am not a heavy and having to pull up my pistol to do something about it. I almost push down the stairs, almost immediately forgetting that I'm a heavy, but I come to my senses. It's actually completely clear anyway, so we rotate back to the other point, in which we have a really good wrap around the building, and I decided to support this outside push. I see them begin to push in, and I start to resonate on their push so that they'll get up immediately, but I block my nade because I aim badly, so I throw a second one, and then as that nade goes off, I begin to push in. This gives me another heal energy wave, another shield wave, and allows me to help pressure alongside the breach itself. Because my first resonate hit the door and the staircase, and my second resonate hit the center of the room, when I look around for people to res, it's actually unnecessary. But with that fight being over, I head over to Indar Comet Ray, and I don't see anybody leaving spawn. I make it into the building, there's nobody there, but on my minimap I see some on the outside, so I swing the staircase. I pick off one with a really quick peek, and then I re-engage, take the second one, and successfully so, he had already shifted his aim to the guy next to me. I'm able to take him out, and I thought I forgot to res this guy, but it was just the heal icon. I run back up the stairs a little bit as I glance at my minimap, and then craving violence, I just run straight to this door as I see some guys pushing up. I left my brain and I shoot way behind this guy, but thankfully I'm able to take him out. I get a reload expecting to be pushed aggressively, but these guys actually didn't make it around the corner. Not wanting to run out there completely naked, I throw a res on this guy to get a shield, and then I go take the push. It's only a 2.5 second shield, but at this point, it's more psychological than physical. I run back inside before I go re-peek to keep my aggressive re-peek mentality going, and I don't really see anybody until we start to push at the Sunderer, in which case I yet again take a quick engagement, unpeek, and then re-peek to get the kill, and do a little more running around as I'm trying to find some people leaving the Sunderer. Normally I hate killing Sunderers, but this definitely qualifies under my we pushed them to the Sunderer. I suppose it could also qualify as they drove their Sunderer into us, but either way, that's how it worked out. There was a little more chasing around of another Sunderer, but I didn't manage to get any more kills, so I head over to a router at Quartz Ridge camp, and it seems like they're trying to push down the staircase. I take up a slightly off angle, and I continue to throw reses for the shield and heal energy while I hold the angle and just kind of bleed them out as they come in. I still try to shuffle left and right a little bit because you don't want to stand perfectly still, which winds up with me falling off the ledge I'm on and I have to parkour my way back up. But I think this is a decent off angle, and I'm definitely taking all the opportunities I can to res allies, both for the energy to heal myself, which technically would heal them even though they're below me, and that way it also gives me the shield. It works out beneficially for both of us, which is one of the best things about playing Medic this way. But I've got to start bringing this video to a close, as we're going to be winding up with 40 kills in 20 minutes. This was a somewhat shorter session than some of the videos, but it's actually one of these ones where I finally got to play Medic, which isn't the case all the time. I don't even have the NC Raxium weapon for the Medic, which I do have for TR and VS. Once I got into the mindset, re-engaging and disengaging was doing pretty good, but my major issues this game were definitely with taking fights I shouldn't have taken, playing too aggressively, and forgetting that I'm not a heavy. Other than that, I feel like this was a decent session to showcase how you can play a medium assault or aggressive combat medic, and kind of be in a support role while also being able to provide pressure yourself, especially with the Regent Rock garrison portion of the session. I absolutely did not play perfectly, and I'm sure there's many things that you could point out and that we should talk about to improve upon that I did not manage to touch upon in this short video. Some of which I think would be like pushing too early as a combat medic, being a little too aggressive because I thought I was a heavy, obviously not having the C4 when it would have been amazing, and similar things like that. But, as always, let me know what you do like, let me know what you don't like, let me know what you think, so I can improve these videos moving forwards. I thank you guys for your continued support, and I will see you guys next time.